Hey, welcome back to Ladles and Lilies. And if it's your first time around here, my name is Frances and I am a stay-at-home trying to go into work and doing all the things in the home mom. And we have finished our 4th year of homeschooling, and this summer, I really want to take the time to reflect back and really know what I need as far as my homeschool is concerned. And even though I do take the time and look at all the things, because I feel like it is good to get a lot of perspective from other homeschool moms as far as like what they experience, which I feel like even though social media, we all need breaks from it from time to time, I feel like it is a great resource as far as like looking for curriculum and like, oh, I never seen that before, besides, the popular brands out there. And sometimes that's not what your home needs. Now, my next 3 upcoming videos will be the planners that I'm planning to use next year and failures. This video right here is things that I have not only learned after 4 years of homeschooling and being in and out of homeschool groups and co-ops and trying to do all the things for my children. These are the bigger things, I would say, because we learn a lot of things every year homeschooling. But these are the bigger things that I can say that I have felt like I failed at and I kind of ignored or pushed to the side, and they really did not get the attention that, it deserved. So let's talk about that today. The first one, and because of the type of person that I am an introverted mom, but I am also very type A. I like to control, and I know that about myself. And you live, you learn, and God teaches you along the way. You need to let go. Hence, my word for the year this year was surrender, just laying everything at God's feet. And I feel like even before I start to dig into curriculum, I like to pray about the individual needs of my children as well as my husband. So, like, these are all things that I'm learning to get better at. So for me, my biggest fail was me not paying attention to the cues of things that weren't working or things that did work very well in our homeschool and choosing something different because it was like, maybe that'll work better. And so that was not a good thing for me. I'm like, oh, I'm just going to stick with it because I know this curriculum is going to work. And hence, it did not work. So, and side note, besides the fact, every year I try to sit down with my kids and show them what the curriculum is going to look like. Because, you can go online and pull up samples. So this is something I try to do every year with my kids, because I want them to look at and know what they're going to do. And last year I did not do that. I just bought, and I was just like, oh, and then it was like, I don't want this. I don't want to do this. So partly my fault, partly my kids are growing up. They're going through their teen phases. So, dealing with the twos and the growth and their emotions and all of that. That was a little rough for us this last homeschool year, which leads into number 2, me starting this homeschool journey and merging homeschool, wife, mom, sister, friend, teacher, all of these roles that, I took on 4 years ago, not realizing the intensity of what or the impact that homeschooling can have on your household as a whole when it comes to planning the days, the weeks, the meals, the dinners. If you're not going to be home, you're going to be home. Like, I finally came to the point where I was like, things are going to have to be a certain way. And as much as I like to have control, I also don't like things being so stiff that you can't wiggle in your schedule. So that was a big thing for me, saying, no, I want us to be wild and free. So yeah, merging all the things that I do as a mom with all the things you need to do as a teacher for your kids, that was really rough on us this for years. And I finally come to the point where it's like, okay, no, this is the chore chart. This is this. It has to stay the same. Even with meals right now, I am making a big, gigantic list, and I plan to share the post on Instagram of like breakfasts, lunch, and like snacks, because when I'm mentally drained, I really just need to look at a list and be like, okay, we could do this week, or yeah, this is on sale. Let me make this. Like, so I need something that's there, solid, and doing it for me versus me sitting down to say, what am I going to make? And this kind of happens with breakfast and lunch. Dinners, I use emails, the app, and this definitely works, especially when I forget for the week. I can just go in, pick 5 dinners, go to the store, pick up the stuff, and they even have store pickup. And yeah, so that works for me as far as dinners, but breakfasts and lunches were falling to the wayside, and I really did not like that. So yeah, which leads into number 3, was merging myself as a mom and as a teacher. And ways I feel like I failed with this is definitely more so on the self-care end of me actually physically taking care of myself. As you guys, if you didn't hear my other videos, I got iron infusions, and I'm hoping that those help. But I also had some people reach out to me and like, do this, do that. So, and I got a juicer for Christmas, and the purpose of me having that juicer was to drink more beet juice and do things like that for my health, because I have been slacking big time. And even now, I know it's going to take time for the iron to kick in, but I'm like in between, or I got my last iron infusion and I feel like crap. But hence, I told myself this year I'm going to be more consistent, even when I don't feel like it, because in the long run as a mom, it still makes it good, because it's like, I know if this doesn't get done and that doesn't get done, when I am back at 100%, it's going to be more than if I would have did it when I was not 100%. So being consistent, keeping up with all the things in the homeschool was really it was hard for me, because I felt like I didn't have the space to. Hence, I am redoing a room to become classroom/office, because I need it, and I need to be able to have things laid out there, ready, and not on my dining room table. My husband also was using my dining room table for work, so it was kind of hard for us just all to like, it became too much. So their room that they used to lounge in still will be a place for them to lounge, but we also will be doing work in there. And just taking care of myself as an individual. If you don't know any of my story, which most of you don't, my first son I had at 18, and after that it was just like I had to become this mom, and I was in school and I was working, and there was nothing else that I could do for myself besides become a mom and become an adult mom quickly, like no other option. And it led me to become somebody who was like really, oh, just throw your hair up in a ponytail, which I still do because it's a hard habit to break. But with time, through all of that, through getting married, and then me feeling like, oh, I have to be a full-time, all the time, on all the time, doing this, that, never stop. Like, I am learning so much now. And God has really, like, definitely put a person in my life who's really helping me work through all this stuff that I just saw so much. And I was like, yeah, I want to share this because I don't know who might be feeling like this now, as far as like carrying the mom, the wife, the teacher. You are still a woman on the inside that still needs to be taken care of. You have your own mind, your own space to breathe, like, you know. And for me, being an introvert, I kind of felt at times, oh, because I want to be to myself and quiet, I always felt like, oh, I'm just weird for that. And I can't, you know, that makes me like not deserving of, you know, people wanting to be around me and stuff like that, because I felt like, oh, I just don't want to be around you at this moment. No, it's just a part of my makeup. And so even though I know how to go and do and be around people and do all that, I also know when I need to take it back and become quiet with myself and learn how to listen to those thoughts. So I've been doing a lot of that as this fourth year of homeschooling is coming to an end. And last but not least was looking outward and really seeing the vision of where our home is going and being open to that, because I will never get on this channel and say, oh, don't put your kids in public school. Oh, I'm not with the public school. I think schools are great. Some schools are excellent. And the only thing for me is that if I wanted my kids to go back, I definitely wouldn't be looking to just plop them in a public school. I would definitely want them in a private or some school that's thriving. I just don't want them to be anywhere. And that's will always be my thoughts on that. So as I'm looking forward into this new year and looking at all the things that I have not done 100%, and it will never be 100% because, hey, nobody is perfect, right? Right. But I want to make sure I'm doing things to really serve my home. As I always say, do what serves your home, and not necessarily just fulfilling the bubble of, oh, I homeschool. Like, no. And even when people ask me now, I love it and I love the freedom of it. But it's also not easy. We take on a lot more than people know as homeschool moms that are married with husbands that we need to go on date night with, that we need to schedule the family time, and you need to do all, it never stops. So, and it is a role that is very underappreciated. I think the biggest thing that I express to all the men in my house, because as you know, I have a house full of men, and my biggest thing is that I need to feel appreciated. I don't mind doing all the things because I love doing the things, but I need to feel appreciated, and I also need to feel like I'm being heard, as if, in essence, like, oh, if you get married and you tell the husband, please put the toilet seat down. If he's not putting the toilet seat down, after a while, you start to feel like, do you appreciate how I feel? Like, yeah. So it's simple little things like that. In your homeschool journey, drop in the comments, like, your biggest learns and your biggest failures when it comes to homeschooling. I would love to hear all of that in the comments. Guys, it was a pleasure chatting with you today, and I will see you in my next video. I'm shooting a video.